In this quick video, I'm going to share with you guys the best Apex account size to trade. Now, this is my own personal opinion. Now, the two account sizes I have traded for myself is a 150K account, and I've also traded the 50K account along with a challenge that I was challenged during the live stream to trade the 25K account. And I'm going to tell you guys the pros and cons to each. Now, the differences between the accounts is not only the number of contracts that one can trade. For instance, in the 25K account, you can trade up to 4 contracts. On the 50K account, we can trade up to 10 contracts. Then if we go all the way over to the $300,000 account, you can trade up to 35 contracts. Now, one thing to note, just because the account size says 300K or 150K, I don't want you guys to think of the account as that. What I want you guys to really focus on is look at the amount of drawdown that they give us. So for instance, when we're over here on the 25K account, we essentially have a trailing drawdown of $1,500. So think about this more along the lines as you have $1,500 of drawdown, not the fact that, you have a $25,000 trading account. So again, I know it's a little wishy-washy. It's just, games that these prop firms like to play, but as we're trading, we don't care about this part of the capital, because when we're trading with a prop firm, we don't have to worry about margins. So margins is not a concern. But another thing we want to focus on is the profit goal, because in order to pass one of these evaluations, we must hit the profit goal. And in this case, on the 25K account, we must make $1,500 of profit without busting or without going below the $1,500 trailing drawdown. Now, in the 50K account, you can see the profit goal is $3,000, which is about $500 more than what the trailing threshold is. Now, when we go to the larger accounts, like say the $300,000 account, now they only give you $7,500 of drawdown, but your profit objective is $20,000. So you almost have to make, in this account, almost 3 times the amount that they are willing to give you for a drawdown. So if you look at it from a pure drawdown basis, from a pure drawdown standpoint, then this one right here, the 25K, would be the best. However, that is not the account that I personally think is the best. And we're going to talk about that here in just a few moments, because in this account, all right, you have to make $1,500, but you can risk $1,500 as well. So that gives us a 1-to-1 profile. Now, another thing that we want to consider before actually deciding which account is best, right? If you think you have a trading edge, which is why you would be signing up with one of these prop firms, and if you believe that you do have a trading edge, let's go ahead and look at, all right, how much does each account have to be at once you've already passed? And actually, let me backstep just a moment. Let's talk about what happens when you pass, all right? If you hit the $1,500 goal, you must trade 7 days, or in this case right now, they actually have where you can pass in as little as 3 days. Sometimes they run a sale where you can pass in as little as 1 day as well. But either way, there is a profit objective that must be met once you are in a funded account, or what they call a PA account, before you can request a payout. So if we look at that, we come over here and we can see in the $25,000 account, we essentially have to make $1,600 of profit. And the reason why I know this is the account balance must be at $2,606. Now, an easy way to think about this, and it's very simple, whatever the drawdown is that they give you for any account size, you must make $100 more than the trailing threshold. Then you can request a payout 2 times per month, between the 1st and the 5th, and between the 15th and the 20th. Now, if you look over here on the $300,000 account, we essentially must make $7,600, because keep in mind, it's a $300,000 account, or at least that's what they call it. So we need to have a profit of $7,600 before we can request a payout. So let's think about this. In the 25K account, you only have to make $1,600 before you can request a payout. However, in the 50K account, and this is one of the accounts that I do favor, and we're going to talk about that here in just a few moments, you only have to make roughly $2,600 of profit in order to be eligible to request a payout. Now, the reason why I say I like the 50K versus the 25K, now, when you go to request a payout, you don't necessarily have to take out the maximum they allow you to take out, because if you can build a buffer, then you can actually have more drawdown drawdown in your account. For instance, let's say that in either of these two accounts, we'll start with the 25K account first. Let's say that you run the account up where you have $10,000 of profit in that account. Well, once you've already made $1,600 of profit, the trailing drawdown no longer, keeps bumping up. So in that case, if you had $10,000 of profit in the account, you'd have $9,900 of drawdown. Now, the reason why is important because you might want to trade more than 4 contracts if you build yourself a larger buffer. And that's one of the things I don't like about the 25K account. Where the 50K account, you can build yourself a buffer, and then you can still allow yourself to trade up to 10 contracts. Now, as a little bit of words of wisdom, if you do decide to go with one of these larger accounts, now the 150K account I do like as well, but if you decide to go with this account, know that just because they give you 17 contracts to trade doesn't mean you should trade 17 contracts right off the rip. And with this account, if we know the trailing drawdown is $5,000, guess what? We must make $5,100 before we can ever think about requesting a payout. And we can see that right here. If you look right there, a 150K account then needs to be up to $155,100. So when you go to select which account size is right for you, you want to think about how much money, do you have to make in order to pass the goal? And also in your future, do you plan on trading more than, in this case, a maximum of 4 contracts? If so, this account is not going to be for you. But if you're a trader that likes to trade micros, you might find the 25K account size actually the sweeter deal. When I did a poll during one of the live streams after we passed the 50K account, only trading during, from 6 p.m. at night until 12 p.m. at night, I was able to pass it in 3 days, trading the 50K account during the essentially Asia session. I asked the chat, should I go with a larger account and go max size on every trade, thinking they'd want to see me blow the account, or should I try the 25K and only trade micros? And overwhelmingly, the poll showed that you guys wanted me to trade the 25K account, and we passed the 25K account in 3 measly days, only trading micros. So you can make some real money with micros too. So you need to determine what type of trader you are. You can trade 4 minis in this account or 40 micros. So, you want to think about this as the trader. Do you want to grow to be able to trade more contracts? If so, then I think the 50K account is a good size to trade. In my personal opinion, I think the 300K is just way too much. You have to make way too much versus the drawdown that they give you. The 150K account is still even a little bit challenging at times, but it is nice because you can get a little bit more aggressive with this account and there is more drawdown. So my 2 favorite accounts are the 150K account and also the 50K account. I kind of have my accounts split between those at this moment. I think I still have the 25K account at this time as well, but I'm hoping to get rid of that in the near future because I really want to be able to trade. I need to trade more than 4 contracts for the way I like to trade. And that's why you need to know your style as a trader. What do you need to do to grow? Are you comfortable with just trading micros? If you're a micro trader, 25K account is an account you want to be looking at. And don't forget, now I do have an affiliate link with Apex. So if you want to help support the channel, next time you purchase your Apex account, use the promo code Mike at checkout.